Welcome to Loleventvods. Watch the full game of today's LTA 2025 matchup.
We'll see if they can be able to pull it back here in this second game and take one, push us to that game 3. They still look like, all the paiN members still look like they're really in good spirits. I always love looking at the players' faces and seeing how they're feeling after that game. They're animated, they're joking, they're laughing, they're still having fun. So I don't think they are fazed by that game 1 loss at all. And we're going to have to see what adjustments come in here in game number 2 because there was such a focus towards top lane in that first one. Remember, there was like 4 or 5 bans even in the first phase between the 2 teams up towards top lane. And then we had even more in that second phase after it was that first pick, K'Sante. So K'Sante is going to be out of the pool, obviously. We're playing Fearless, so K'Sante is going to be gone. Aurora is going to be gone. Is there going to be that continued focus towards top lane? And for now, Mbessa is left up, so Mbessa will be able to be grabbed there by paiN.
Yeah, that was one of the ones that was banned out in game number 1. We do have the team switching sides here for the second game. So just like Sniper got first pick for top lane in game number 1 on blue side, now Weiser is going to get the same thing here in the second head-to-head, as Talia and Vi are going to be the lock-ins for the side of 100 Thieves. These 2 champions as a duo can be an absolute menace.
Yeah.
Vi has the point-and-click ulti. It is impossible to miss seismic shove if your eyes are open once Vi has ulted someone. Generally a pretty effective combo.
Yeah, it is very effective. Of course, as an answer, we do have the Ezreal and the Azir, 2 very safe carries that are going to be trying to stay very far back here. You know, of course, you can ult in towards that Ezreal, but if he shifts out of range of the seismic shove, well, all of a sudden that combo becomes not so easy to land. So not the easiest ones to lock down, but of course, the Unraveled Earth is also very effective just against dashes, right? And Mbessa has a lot of dashes. Azir trying to fly in as well, and it's going to be FBI on the Kai'Sa. One of the champions I associate most with him throughout his whole career. I do think it is one of his strong champions that he is very, very effective on. It does also lead you to believe that we're going to be playing very heavy dive on the 100 Thieves side. You're looking towards hard engaged support, potentially diving top laner, and everything is just going to be about go, go, go.
And on the other side, though, for paiN, one of our biggest criticisms for their draft in the first game is they did not have any go buttons. They had to play from ahead, be there first. They had Rel, but then as we saw when she got picked off, there was just no way for them to ever approach anything. So I like the fact that already we're seeing with Mbessa and with Azir, there's more options for paiN to go in.
Yeah, there are, but I still think that these champions generally are better as follow-up. You can't have those big Azir moments where you fly in and you can have the public execution, but generally it works better, you know, as either a pick tool or as just like a follow-up to the start of the fight. So you can see some of the extra bans there from 100 Thieves. Obviously, they played the Sejuani last game, so then they're banning away the other kind of engaged tank junglers from Karaoke this game. So they take away the Maokai, they take away the Skarner, they played the Sejuani last time, so that is going to limit the pool there from Karaoke a bit. You still can go like Wukong and things like that, you know, that's just not a tank as far as that engage goes. And it is going to be Pantheon support here for Ayla, unless they're going to get really spicy, but should be, you know, Pantheon support. I'm not expecting that up to go up towards Sniper. That's where mostly it has been played, and this is, again, just more and more dive.
Yeah, tons of dive, tons of roaming potential there as well. Once you hit level 6, the ability to instantly turn any fight into a +1 for your team is huge.
I really wonder, you know, with now you committing to kind of double semi-globals here, do you go a full split push pick? Like, do you go a Jax or something like that and try to play to enable that with the Talia, with the Pantheon ult, play towards those side lanes? They're considering the Ivern here, which does do a great job of absorbing the engage, and because 100 Thieves has to hard engage, I think it's a really, really smart pick. You have Alistar that can be able to absorb a lot of this engage, that can, you know, disrupt the follow-up potentially, you know, kind of break up that combo. Vi is ulting in, all of a sudden, Talia gets headbutted away by the Alistar, can't really follow up. Ivern is there with the shielding, with the redemption, all of these tools coming through, can make it really tough to get those kills. And Jax,
you called it, man. Nicely done. Plus 3 points from half court.
Well, there you go. I mean, I just think it makes sense alongside what they're trying to do, because if you don't draft something that wins in the side lane later on in the game, then all you can really do is kind of like ram your head into what paiN has drafted, which I don't think is going to be very effective. They should not be able to win front to back whatsoever. You have to get picks, you have to spread them out, you have to kind of find these split up fights where you get in the back line, there's a 2v2 over there, a 3v3 over there, you know? You're looking for that type of game. This does put pressure on Sniper though, who I don't think has had the best season, honestly. I feel like he has been kind of the weak link on 100 Thieves so far this season. And if you get behind as the Jax, well, all of a sudden playing towards towards you doesn't really feel that good.
No, it feels pretty lousy. I am excited to see if he can pull it off. Again, we already talked about the Talia and the Vi early on that can make so many plays together. The combination of Talia and Pantheon with those semi-global ultis being able to interfere with things everywhere. FBI's Kai'Sa being a trademark pick. Meanwhile, Other on the other side, so many more tools in the toolkit, man. Last time was just a broken wrench for paiN. They beat 100 Thieves over the head with it for 18 minutes, but then when it finally stopped working, there was nothing left. This time around, we've got Alistar, we've got Azir, we've got Mbessa, we've got all of these different ways for if paiN takes a lead by 3,000 gold in the early game again, now I can see them having much better methods to keep that going.
Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree, and I also think that they have very good answers to the dive from 100 Thieves because the Azir ult can come out early, because the Ezreal can shift away to safety. You have the Ivern in there, absorbing some of that engage and really making things difficult for 100 Thieves to get that full pile in like they would want to do. You have this triple melee comp here and a short range AD carry, kind of mid-range-ish mid laner, 400 Thieves, and they're all going to be trying to pile through this glacial augment slows, the Daisy knockups, the Alistar comboing you and getting in the way. All this stuff to just kind of block what you're trying to do and
so
keep Chitan and Jinkato safe.
So tough to deal with. And I really want to see if we get another first blood before minions spawn in this one. Last game was chaotic early on, so maybe we'll get to see a repeat of that as we already have both of our junglers showing up around mid lane. Top laners, okay, not a whole lot.
And you can see Ayla here, how he has been doing. Obviously, support stats are kind of like whatever, but he's dying less. His KDA is better, his vision score is better, and more importantly, he patches the support eye test. He is just looking individually good. He is finding those big moments here, and we are scrapping it up level 1.
Already ready to go. Ayla versus Chitan over here in the side. Wants to hit another one of those spear stabs. Has FBI coming up behind him. Ayla. Okay, you're just going to chase Chitan away. He does end up winning in the health trade, but as level 1 Pantheon, if you have your spear, it means you don't have your jump, so it's not like there's a real follow-up.
Sniper also moving down towards bot side, so I think we're going to see another lane swap here from 100 Thieves. We'll see how they want to play it out, but Jax will survive potential dives and aggression better than Mbessa because of Counter-Strike, just point-blank period. It's a lot easier to deal with, but we're going to have Aussie lanes. 100 Thieves, guess on that lane swap to try to, I think, get out of that 1v1 to try to keep the Mbessa down. But at the end of the day, the dual lane from 100 Thieves will match the dual lane from paiN up in the top lane, and we'll have a 1v1 down bot.
Okay, switching things up a little bit. Mid laners are not going to have to deal with the random visitors to their lanes either.
Yeah, and let's hear from Chitan on what this Brazilian crowd is like to play in front of.
Brazil is very passionate about the community in overall, so I think it's gonna be kind of different from them because they never experienced like the crowd in Brazil, so it's gonna be fun to see it.
Always exciting to see when the crowd gets really into the games. Obviously, the Brazilian crowd here loses it for their home teams.
They're on their feet, and in the game, like nothing has happened yet, right? Like they're standing there, chanting, they're cheering. It is very much, like the Brazilian football culture of the fans. They're so passionate about the game and about their teams, and it's one of the things that is so fun and so cool about CBLOL and now LTA South.
All right, let's see where we're kind of starting off with any meaningful advantages here, because everybody's sort of just going through the usual paces that you would expect. We're not seeing any super creative pathing or attempts at anything. Quid going to get pushed back here in the mid lane as Jinkato takes control over the wave. Exactly opposite. I said the exact wrong thing. Don't worry about that. We're still getting used to a little bit of the jet lag here. That's all right. As 100 Thieves, they're going to go ahead, recall Sniper back to the base. He'll take his reset on this one. The Grasp of the Undying there for the extra laning phase power for both of these top lane champions laning bottom. Meanwhile, FBI and Ayla having control here in the top side for now. Chitan and Curry got to be respectful as their opponents hit level 3 first.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see Weiser, still down on that bot side, did not base. Sniper based. He's not going to teleport, so he's just walking down towards bot. So we'll be down as far as the experience is concerned and as far as the CS is concerned, but it's going to push back towards him, and he should have Prio in that lane as soon as he hits level 4. So we'll see if he can actually stop Weiser from full crashing this wave and force him to take a little bit of an awkward base or put him in a bad spot. That's exactly what Sniper wants to try to do now, is thin this wave enough so it doesn't crash and Weiser can't just go back. But you also have to be careful about taking too much minion damage and the fact that you're down experience right now, so won't actually be able to hold it off that tower.
Ooh, nice Nice seismic shove there from Quid on the Jinkato. Takes him down to 100 HP, but Jinkato will go ahead. Recall is not going to have to use any summoner spells. He still does have the teleport, so not really any worse for wear on that one.
Yeah, not at all. And I mean, Quid had already based and TP'd back. He got the early tier. Quid is going to full shove that, though, so he'll be able to bounce the wave, get back to base, but we're going to see a gank mid.
Yeah, gank mid coming out from the Ivern at the same time that we have Sniper trying to play aggressively towards the Mbessa bottom side because he had River waiting for him. Quid gets away, but remember that Quid has already used his teleport.
Exactly.
So
it's a big
health,
deal.
Low mana, no TP available. The pressure from Carioca there showing up.
The Carioca just completely murdered Quid's tempo. Like, that is really tough now because he basically just lost, almost was fully done his recall, got stopped, had to run for about 10 or 15 seconds, then recall. So we'll see how much he loses as a result. He probably would have lost 0 minions off that previous recall. Now he's going to at least lose the melees, I'm assuming. Maybe lose a little bit more, but it is one of those kind of incremental advantages that you can get. And it's just a nice thing for Carioca to do here because on Ivern, you've got a lot of downtime. Like, you channel on the camps, you wait for them to be ready to collect, and then in between that, you want to be putting pressure on lanes like this because it really just doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah, no big deal, man. Just wait for the animals to be happy enough to pay you some money for the Ivern. I don't know what he actually does. I never bothered reading his lore, so I'm just assuming
he's harvesting them and then selling them to a farm.
You just sell them to a farm down the road. Everybody's happy. No worries about it. Wiser hitting level 6 down here in the bottom lane. Public execution for the Mbessa. We know that this is a massive playmaking tool, and if you can get a good flank, especially in these larger fights, you can create a ton of space later on by targeting those carries into the back line. River roaming around with Ayla, but they're not really going to find an opportunity for anything on Jinkato here just yet. I am so surprised, Isaac, that it is still 0-0 and we're almost 6 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically the total opposite of that last game. I think last game, starting off, you're going to have some nerves, definitely your 100 Thieves, you're, behind enemy lines here, playing in front of a really pumped up paiN crowd. And, paiN, obviously, a lot of pressure, having that crowd behind them, wanting to perform for them. So I think game 1, we saw a little bit of nerves. We saw people getting a bit excited, forcing out some fights that maybe they shouldn't always be looking for. Game 2 has settled quite a lot, but it's River maybe in trouble.
Caster, Curse, engage. River getting jumped on here by Curry. The paiN doesn't have enough firepower nearby to fully bring him down. In the meantime, though, as they chunk the enemy jungler, paiN's going to take the opportunity to start up the first set of grubs, but they do have to be careful. Quid's coming around, but so is Wiser. 100 Thieves looking for the damage here on Curry at the very start. Its first blood over to FBI on the Kaisa. Follow up on the Carioca's not good enough for a kill, and Wiser's in the back line, tearing health bars apart. He does get stunned up. Chitana's the kill on River. Another one to FBI. Wiser created all the space, and Chitana's getting the payday for it. He needs one more shot to maybe kill Quid. The last turret shot of the air just barely doesn't kill him. They're both hanging on at death's door. Quid sidestepping as another spear flies in from Ayla to claim Chitana the feat of warfare.
Yeah, that is huge because they couldn't get grubs. They got nothing off of that. So 100 Thieves gets the kills, gets 2 plates bought. They lose some farm and experience as well for the Mbessa. So paiN tries to make the early play on top side. Looked like it might have been able to work out because Wiser got there so early and there was no TP on Sniper. But at the end of the day, it is 100 Thieves coming out on top early. 1K gold lead here already. And Sniper is going to be the one getting paid for a lot of that.
Feels good for that split-pushing Jax that you set up for in the draft. Talking about how you can make a win condition out of this guy as Carioca wants to try to secure his own red buff. River does not want to allow such a thing to transpire. The smite is ready to go, so Carioca can claim that one as soon as the grove is planted. River jumping back over the wall with a Vault Breaker. Not going to go ahead and start up the Dragon here. Instead, just walking back to his own half of the map. He's got plenty of camps ready to clear.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be feeling really good about that. Just continuing to farm up here. Still pretty even game overall, but we can watch this one more time. This is the very end of the play. Chitan getting cleaned up there by Ayla. He came back, gets that kill, and they get the feat of warfare. You can see Chitan, again, between those two towers, wants to play so aggressive, always going to play in the face of his opponents, always going to believe in his ability to outplay his opponents and make these big plays happen. And it's been fun to watch. Like, he's just a really exciting player to watch. He has these big pop-offs, both in-game and out-of-game, where he's standing up, he's jumping around, he's yelling at the other team. And if he's beating you, he's going to let you know.
Well, right now they've still got a little bit of ways to go to get to that leading position. 2-3 for paiN. The Grubs not claimed, like you already said. 100 Thieves just barely securing that last kill with a long-range spear from Ayla means that that feat is already taken care of. Down here in bottom lane, Sniper versus Wiser. Sniper gonna hit level 8 first.
Ouch.
And you can see by the EXP on the left side of the screen, it's not like Wiser is particularly close. He will obviously get a bunch from that minion wave that is about to crash into the turret, but that's kind of what you're talking about with Sniper staying down in the bottom lane, getting leads in that department.
Yeah, it's a good third to half a level or so that he did get as that additional advantage, and is working quickly towards that Triforce. River going to be in the pit here. Daisy's been summoned, and paiN already got one grub, but looks like that's probably all they're getting. Yeah,
River wanting to step up here, has Ayla and FBI both following him. They'll kill off the Daisy. They'll kill off the first grub. River still has no smite ready for the second, though. Meanwhile, two different fights going to break out. True Shot Barrage over the top, looking to kill Quid, and Sniper barely misses on the kill in the bottom lane against Wiser. Curry picking up Quid finally up here in the top lane battle as River tries to get himself back away and takes Jinkato out in the entire meantime. Karaoke finally knocks down River. It's a 2-1 victory for paiN over 100 Thieves across the map.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Sniper can threaten a dive, though, because it is traded flashes down on the bot side. He uses flash and now, and Best is going to have to leave, knowing that there could be a threat. Vela moving down there. He has level 6 for that Pantheon ultimate, so it's going to be more of an advantage there for Sniper. It is just 1-1 as far as the Grubs are concerned. Maintains at about that 1,000 gold lead, but Sniper's individual advantage will grow. There's no teleport to answer, so he's going to lose this full wave, and very likely the next full wave as well, as Sniper should be able to make this crash, and is getting himself into a very good spot. I wouldn't be surprised if he has the Triforce fully completed on base, at which point Wiser's going to have no shot in the 1v1, at least until he completes an item of his own.
Exactly. He will be very, very much stuck in turret farming town, and it is not a very nice neighborhood to live in these days. Not when Jax has the Trinity Force, not when he's this far ahead. It is a pretty terrifying prospect for the Ambessa down in the bottom lane. Let's take another look at the fight up here in the top side river for the Grubs.
Yeah, we can watch this one more time. Jinkato going in for that initial gauge onto Quid. Nicely timed with the Ezreal ult from Chitan as well, getting that additional damage into the backline, helping to finish him off. And then River just kind of getting sectioned off from the team. FBI and Ayla realize this is not a fight we are going to win. If we overcommit there, we're going to be down a man and end up having to give over that one kill for the second that goes away at paiN. We can see as well, these are the longest tenured active rosters here. paiN and TL tied. Number 1, number 2, in the world, or both tied for number 1, whatever you want to say. paiN has been around for a long time with this roster, building together, really trying to get stronger and stronger. But you can also see the reality of, these League of Legends these days is that teams don't stay together for very long, right? No. If you are not performing, you're going to be replaced. Number 1 in the world, just over a year.
Yeah, and by the time we got down to the number 5 slot, it was 70 days, right? That is a fraction, a couple of months. So not exactly a whole lot of time to get to stick together with your teammates. We'll see if that long time together is able to give the edge to paiN Gaming that they need to take this to another game, as that Mountain Drake looked way too close to getting stolen away.
That's a clincher, man.
Yeah.
That's one of those moments as a jungler when you just see an ultimate flying in, you can panic and smite a little bit too early there, but I was already in smite range, so River was A-okay.
I call that one a pre-mute, because as soon as I see that flying through, I'm already in the tab muting teammates so I don't get pinged, and then I realize, oh, I got it. Okay, it's no big deal. Unmute. But it's a dangerous one. Curry could be in some danger here. Flashing forward for the double knockup. Karaoke right there next to him looking to help, but this is only Alistar alongside the Ivern. Where is the damage here for the fight? Sniper has to try to get away now as Wiser's getting the better of him. Counter-strike to try to not get knocked up there by the Daisy, as now the entry into the fight from Quid. He is totally gone, and Sniper still at about 100 HP. A double kill back over to Ambessa. paiN Gaming bringing the pain to 100 Thieves.
Yeah, 100 Thieves really misplaying in that spot. I mean, Sniper tried to stick on the tower. It looked like he was trying to finish off the tower, but ends up just getting free hit while he is autoing the tower. Watch how much damage Sniper takes here. He steps up, he says, you know what, I can just finish off the tower. They don't have any damage in this position, but then Wiser arrives. He's getting damage done. The teleport's coming through. Sniper can't even finish the tower, and now as a result, he's free taking so much damage from Wiser that he can't continue to fight whatsoever. So he jumps out. Quid teleports in to just a horrible spot here. there's almost no mid laner you could be teleporting into that spot on and really make it work, but definitely not on the Taliyah. Arrives on the teleport, flashes, gives over a kill. A great public execution from Weiser means they grab another kill. It is still 100 Thieves gold lead, but not by a lot and not for long with sloppy fights like that.
I'll just call it what it is. That was an absolute mess from 100 Thieves, and paiN did a good job punishing it, taking advantage of the fact that even though this Jax might be ahead, he's not in a good spot. Quid's teleporting into a Christmas present here in the middle of February. They're happy to unwrap that one.
Yeah.
It's just bad news after bad news for 100 Thieves in there, and paiN are loving it. Remember, in the previous game, it was paiN who were ahead for the first 18 minutes, and then 100 Thieves were able to get themselves back into the game. Now let's see how this one's going to work out here in this topside river. Curry forced to use the Unbreakable Will. Does not want to soak any more damage there from 100 Thieves, as they will now take control over the topside river for themselves.
Yeah, you can see Jax did get the tower down on bot side, so unfortunately, not in that much of a gold lead. Even though he got all this additional time down on bot side, it's actually only 100 gold lead because 3 kills went the way of Weiser. He picked up so much from that last fight off of 100 Thieves' errors. So Sniper, still in a good spot, but definitely not in the position that you would think he would be in, given how much time he had alone down in the bot lane.
Yeah, the last fight pretty much erased all of the bonuses that Sniper got to have from that solo time on the turret. Plate gold, you can see 625 to 0, with most of those plates being taken
all of them
down there in the bottom lane. Yeah, just really, really rough stuff for paiN in terms of the plates, as it's still a 2-to-1 lead in the grubs for 100 Thieves with the +1 in the Drake.
Yep, also the feats of warfare were claimed by 100 Thieves, of course, so they do have those upgraded boots. I'm going to be feeling pretty good about that. Some additional stats coming through, as only 2 members so far do have the upgraded boots and getting anything from it, but we're going to have Audicon spawning on the top side, Curry already trying to clear out those wards, and River hanging out in the area, but there's quite a bit of paiN vision. We'll see if he can actually sneak around these wards. Hasn't been spotted so far, but Curry, maybe not the one you want to go on.
No, the Alistar being the one to face check, you just kind of have to go, well, damn it, just walk away.
They're looking bot. We'll see if they want to try to force this. They are behind Weiser, and he is too far up.
Okay, Weiser steps far forward towards the wave, flashes back over the wall, wants to stay alive with the seismic shove, knocks him right back in the unraveled earth, and it will be his grave. 100 Thieves send a 3-man squad to get the job done.
Yeah, they get the shutdown, and it goes on Sniper, which is really good. Does cost them a couple flashes, but they get the flash off of Weiser as well. That is that 3-man squad I was talking about in draft that you want to play towards those side lanes on, and now they're able to get active. I don't think we've actually seen Grand Starfall, Pantheon ult so far this game, but Ayla definitely can be threatening that anytime Weiser overextends, and of course they can use the Taliyah wall just like that. Even with Weiser pretty close to his tower, you put it behind him, it makes it very difficult to get out.
Yeah, it looked for a second like Weiser was just trying everything he could, spin the flash, try to get over the wall, but the seismic shove, knocking him right back onto the wrong side of the wall, just guaranteed his fate was sealed. paiN on to the Rift Herald now. They've got this one down to 5,000 HP. They're going to go ahead and burn it before anybody from 100 Thieves can really move up to try and challenge. Ayla and River are nearby, but the problem is, so is Curry. River forced to flash out to escape the Alistar engage. Ayla's going to buy a little time with his shield, but Heartsteel or not, that Pantheon doesn't live through those. paiN Gaming pick up an objective and a kill for a cherry on top.
But again, no one is answering bot side, so it is going to be Sniper pushing up, down on that bot side. We'll see how much he can get. Looks like not much, but we have to talk about Jinkato because he is the one that was on the other side of the map, collecting some of that power gold. Well, we saw Sniper down on the bot side. This is a guy who has been around for a long time. He's been first team All-Pro in the CBLOL. He's won the CBLOL 3 times. He's been to Worlds. He's been to MSI twice. He is an absolute veteran. Very big fan favorite as well here in Brazil, as Ayla is going to arrive back from base.
All right, 100 Thieves ready to fight for the dragon. Curry's in some danger because he does not have the ulti. It was used in the previous play to guarantee that they got the kill there. Now Chitan knocked back by the seismic shove. Follow up from 100 Thieves. They need a little bit more, and they get it from FBI. Shut down for the Kaisa, and now that's 2 kills for the Thieves. It's going to be another Drake for them. Seems like when paiN Gaming gets something, 100 Thieves then gets it back, but better.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they got the kill onto Ayla, but because he has the ultimate, he gets back from base way faster than I think they were expecting. Curry did not have his ultimate. Chitan was pretty much so they're trying to force this dragon, but they realize, you know what, paiN doesn't necessarily have the tools to be able to force it in this position, so they just use the Pantheon ult to come back, and they get down there, they get that dragon. It's the second one of the game here now for 100 Thieves, and it's going to be Ocean Soul on the table. Not the most desirable, let's be honest, especially because there's no true tanks or anything on the 100 Thieves side, but a soul is a soul. And,
exactly, right? It's like, do you want it, or would you rather just have 0?
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
Take the thing.
Well, I'd rather have $1,000 than 100, but 100 bucks is still pretty good.
Yeah, 100 bucks still ain't bad. 100 bucks more than I got.
Exactly.
So that's what we'll take.
Yeah.
Nice big $100 green lizard. And that's what 100 Thieves is controlling right now, is that and everything else on the map, man. They're up in dragons. They're up in grubs. Kind of the rare occasion of only the 3 grub game this time around. So still leading in that 2-1. Tied in turrets, at least, with paiN. So I got to ask here, what is really the game plan for paiN Gaming?
I mean, I think for paiN, it's about absorbing engages and punishing them, right? It's about, okay, all of a sudden, River and Sniper are going to try to make a dive happen on Wiser, and Karaoke is there, you know, stops the engage, drops the redemption, shields them up, you know, and being able to turn around the fight, because they do have very good sustained damage. They have really good range with the Azir and the Ezreal, great scaling. So I think it's just going to be about shutting down those initial engages, more so from this position than it is about going for the aggressive picks, unless they really find someone out of position, because I think that they are going to struggle to the counter engage from 100 Thieves if you overforce, right? If Azir dives into the backline to try to ult in Quid, but then dies for it, that 1-for-1 is not really going to favor, I think, what paiN is trying to do, because Karaoke and Curry are really kind of just there to enable what Chitan and Jikado could do.
Well, we are seeing a couple of second item power spikes come through, 2 of which are for the 2 men on your screen right now. The Ambessa with the Spear of Trojan plus the Eclipse. Sniper dropping low here on the Jax, immediately responds with the ultimate, has his Sundered Sky and Trinity Force both completed as well. These guys are ready to beat each other down to 1/3 HP, but then both disengage.
Yeah, exactly. Are going to have to back it up. And Sniper has no vision down on bot side really in the jungle. It's just kind of that river line of wards. So because of that, he doesn't have the confidence to stay around. You know, maybe he wins in the re-engage with Counter-Strike back up, but of course you don't know where everyone is. And 100 Thieves are going to be setting up on that top side. You can see Sniper has teleport, so he's heading down towards bot lane again, going to try to draw them down. And paiN really has not been a team to match what 100 Thieves are doing a lot of the times so far. They have been very happy to just, okay, you're going to go bot? Well, we're just going to try to force over here. And that has kind of caught them, I think, a number of times so far this series. So we'll see how they want to elect to play this out with both top laners heading down towards bot.
100 Thieves controlling that top side river. No problem with that as paiN has to try to get away now. Karaoke with the flash over the wall trying to stay alive. He sidestepped the seismic shove. Chitan ready to try to reinforce over the wall as FBI's in danger. Nice ulti there from the Emperor of Shariva. The shutdown of the 100 Thieves AD carry. The kill in the jungle to follow it up. paiN with a beautiful reversal as 100 Thieves went too far. Finally a kill comes through as Karaoke dies to Sniper and he's looking for another. He jumps over the wall trying to chase after Chitan. Curry's barely alive. Chitan's barely alive. A double kill back over to the Jackson. Sniper's finally shut down. paiN Gaming just aced them.
That is massive for paiN. They're going to be able to get a huge play off of that. And we'll see, can they actually get the Otacon as well? It's 100 Thieves that try to start this up. They try to go for Karaoke, and they're able to absorb the engage. He gets a free shield down. He flashes over the wall. The seismic shove here is really the critical miss, as they couldn't get in range to get that seismic shove. Quid did not want to elect to flash to try to get it in. It wasn't really a primary carry. They didn't fully commit, couldn't get the initial kill, and then as a result, FBI is stuck in the back line, having ulted in. He gets punished heavily. Sniper tries to come up with a big play from this spot, but this early in the game, the cooldown's still a little bit too long. You can see the public execution was a swing and a miss. Curry gets knocked down by the blue buff, so the 6 man there for 100 Thieves helping out, but the leap strike just not coming up in time for him to be able to get in and take down Chitan.
The fan reactions, man, I love it. As paiN roars to life, so does the crowd. Yeah, I think they might be a little bit into the game. I think they might just be a little bit excited to see their team bring this game back to such a close deficit between themselves and 100 Thieves.
Absolutely. I mean, they're in a great spot. Another boss engage like that from 100 Thieves, and it could be a disaster. 100 Thieves, though, setting up on this bottom side. paiN got the kills, got the gold, but they didn't get Otacon off the back of that. Didn't really get too much. And you can see now some more incredible items, you know, being picked up, more important items, I should say, really being picked up here for Sniper. Has that Seeker's arm guard, so he's going to be able to go into the back line, use that stasis, allows you to play really aggressively, push them back. But second item picked up for a lot of members here, and you can see Karaoke is going a very non-traditional build here. He's building towards Zonia's as well.
Yeah.
On the Ivern, which...
How do we feel about that?
Well, it is really strong against Vi because you can just immune the Vi ult, right? You know, and the Vi ult's cooldown is still wasted. That being said, if they go on someone other than you, it's a very expensive item and it's not going to have a lot of value, right? Compared to that of a support item. So I think he's just making the judgment call that's saying, you know what? I think they're going to go for me. I think I'm going to be that primary target potentially. And if 100 Thieves makes that mistake, it could really bite them with Seekers being there.
And I feel like a lot of the time when we talk about Ivern team fights, when a team that's doing really well with Ivern finally loses a fight, it's like, oh, well, now they didn't have all the shields and the healing and that powerful battery in the team fight. So maybe he's just looking to stay locked in. There it is. The engage coming down from 100 Thieves. River gets the ulti on Karaoke, but he survives with the Zonias just like we were talking about. Now Ayla's in the middle of 3, and he's likely first to drop. Sniper ready to die here next as Chitan's ready to go forward. Counter-Strike ain't going to do enough. Sniper with the Zonias, only to buy an extra second before he's dead in the dirt. A double kill for Chitan, and paiN get him again.
I mean, what is that target selection right after he buys the Seekers? They're going to go straight for the Ivern again.
Downloaded him.
I don't think they pressed tab. I don't think they actually realized that he had the Seekers. The entire crowd is going crazy now. That fight is massive for paiN. They stopped the march towards Soul here for 100 Thieves. And again, the target selection is just so questionable. The Ivern already a risky target, but if he has the Seekers, it's never going to be worthwhile. They can't get the instant kill on him. He's going to be able to get into that stasis, survive so much. Ayla dies on the other side. Sniper cannot get anything done, even with the stasis buying a little bit of time. It's not nearly enough to make anything happen. Quid and FBI survive, but the crowd is so happy about this, and 100 Thieves make a big mistake. paiN punish it.
100 Thieves have now made a back-to-back big mistake. It feels like they are just completely out of sorts here past the 20-minute mark. They're not making good choices. They're not making good engages, and paiN is taking the opportunity to punish.
Absolutely, and as we get further and further into the game, they haven't really made a lot happen in the side lane besides that one play. Sniper is not in any sort of a massive advantage. Ezreal and Azir are becoming a huge problem. This is where scaling for paiN could really take over this game. 100 Thieves aren't out of it just yet, but they are really in a tough spot, I feel like, here. And we'll see if they can battle their way back out, because Sniper pushing in that side lane again has a 1K advantage, but that's the broken Seekers. It's not going to really do anything for you until you complete the full Zonias, and Zonias isn't even a side lane item. It's really all about that 5v5. So I'm really kind of wondering how 100 Thieves wants to try to play this out. Weiser hasn't been getting picked in side lanes, and they've been failing in the 5v5.
100 Thieves fumbling and stumbling here in the mid game has allowed paiN to find themselves a gold lead, has allowed paiN some momentum in these team fights, and I know that paiN's not going to be afraid of continuing to answer the challenge as 100 Thieves tries to keep forcing things. Look at the itemization for Chitan, who just now completed his spear on top of the Trinity Force and the fully evolved Muramana. The 5, 2, and 8 scoreline has been a part of every kill except for one here on this team. This guy is a cannon right now.
He really is, and it's so hard to knock down an Ezreal because he has incredible range, incredible mobility, he's playing barrier, and he has an Ivern behind him, right? So it is really not easy. You know, and that is why they're trying to go for the Ivern. You know, this is a strategy that a lot of players, you know, will do against Ivern teams, is you just try to insta-kill the Ivern right at the start of the fight and then kind of run over it with the extra man. But because they went too far in the first attempt, and because he had Zonias ready, you know, on the second attempt there with the Seeker's arm guard, they just couldn't make it happen. And that second one is really the one that I think 100 Thieves are going to want back. At the very least, Karaoke is not close to getting his fully completed Zonias, so if they want to go for it again, well, maybe it's going to be easier to punish. And they are going to spot them now starting this up on that ward. It's not going to be spotted out, and Jinkato is actually tanking some of the abilities here, so he's going to be getting those stacks on him, which it means less armor, less MR. 100 Thieves are coming in for the fight.
100 Thieves on the approach, but Otacon's already down to 1/4 of its HP. Immediately, the Thieves want to try to stop it. True shot barrage over the wall, though, puts River in a bit of a bad spot, but a lot of burst down on the Jinkato, but they're going to take him out. 100 Thieves have already found 2 kills as Karaoke drops now 2, and paiN makes a critical mistake. 100 Thieves with the punish.
Yeah, 100 Thieves are able to punish that big time, and this is one of these situations where knowing how Otacon works is so important. Jinkato was standing in that AoE from Otacon. He was fully tanking those debuffs. Every tick of an ability is 5 stacks of negative armor, of negative MR. He was, I want to say, probably at, 25, 50 stacks even, because he was kind of tanking this on both the first and the second ability there. see he's just fully standing in it. So they go on him, and he's going to be taking way more damage than he normally would have because of the reduced resistances. Makes it an even easier pick. He does not have a Zonius. He did not have a stasis available. Now goes back and actually buys a Seekers, but that is a massive fight because it's not just the kill, it is also the Otacon.
He had 35 stacks before he died. That means he had negative 35 armor, negative 35 MR. That is just a massive amount of increased damage coming after you that otherwise you would not expect for. Otacon can really pile up in a way that just gives you whiplash, wondering how did I die so fast? The answer's right there.
Exactly. I mean, that leaves him with 33 MR, right? And then there's also going to be, you know, void staff components and stuff over there for Quid, so you're taking a lot of damage. You don't have a lot of resistances there, and you can get dangerously close in some situations where it stacks fully to 50 to just straight up true damage that is being dealt to you. So you really have to be aware of that. Whether or not would have made the difference, hard to say, but definitely something you have to be so careful about. And a lot of pros still do not play around these abilities. They're just thinking about so many other things, and they lose track of that debuff, which can be so punishing.
And it's the thing, right? If you can burst down the Otacon, get the false life, okay, cool, great. Now if a fight breaks out, we auto-win. But if you're just a little bit slower than you think, if your calculations are slightly off,
they're starting Baron.
You just get jumped on as now 100 Thieves gonna ride the Weaver's Wall to block off the approach angle here for paiN as they want to try to stop the Thieves from taking the Baron. They've got the false life for everybody on 100 Thieves. It's stolen away. Karaoke got the Baron. An absolutely massive moment for paiN. But can they get anything after the rest of the fight? Curry is low. Karaoke is low. River looking to go into the back line as FBI's ready to follow him, and paiN tries to stand and fight and get their way through it. But it's so damn hard. A triple kill for support Pantheon.
Yeah, that's big for 100 Thieves getting those kills because otherwise it's a complete disaster. But even with that, paiN steal the Baron. Karaoke comes up massive, and they're rushing towards the Dragon here. They're going to try to take this before 100 Thieves can get back out on the map and stop them. And they're going to be successful, so they get the Baron and the Dragon. They lose the fight, but who cares? 100 Thieves got nothing with Otacon whatsoever. And Karaoke has got to be so pumped about that.
What a move for Karaoke. Absolute legend jumping in there to steal that Baron away. I feel like this game looks so different if he doesn't do that. That slammed the brakes on the 100 Thieves War Machine.
It really did. I mean, with the Baron buff on the other side, Weiser in trouble though.
Yeah, Weiser about to drop. FBI's got the damage to finish him, and the turret is killed off before it can get a return kill on one of the 100 Thieves players. Chitan still firing those Mystic shots, but 100 Thieves have brought in the backup to guarantee their exfiltration.
Look at all the Zonias being built here by paiN as well. They have a Seekers on both Chitan and Jinkato. They have a full Zonias now completed on Karaoke as well. So all of the targets that Vi would want to go for now have stasis. And this is where it gets so hard when you play this style of composition. And that is why losing the Baron is so critical, because they would have all of that additional gold. They would have all this additional power to try to finish.
Ayla jumping in. They're ready to engage. Snipers into the back. He wants to go after Chitan. It was already used. That Seeker's arm guard. He jumps back over the wall. That 100 Thieves follow. FBI with a kill there with a shutdown. The killer instinct. The sniper gets one on Karaoke too. Now Jinkato's alone in a 1v3. paiN went way too far, and 100 Thieves hit him right in the mouth.
Yeah, they went way too far. Jinkato was not with them. That's the major problem. Weiser was dead. Jinkato's not there. They're going in on this fight with really just Chitan as the main carry. They're able to pile everything in onto him. And even when Jinkato arrives, he throws the ultimate out on FBI, and he uses a perfectly timed Seekers there to immune it. And now 100 Thieves are going to be piling down all of these lanes, trying to extend their gold lead and deal a finishing blow to this series.
That feels like the backbreaker right there to me. Up until then, it felt like paiN had their chances to get in some good hits, but that overextension, the breaking of the arm guards, those one-time uses makes it so much more obnoxious. 100 Thieves with a big team fight win and an inhibitor claim right afterwards. Now sitting on a 6,500 gold lead. There's no Baron, there's no Dragon for another 3 minutes. They can do whatever they like with the Rift, get those waves pushed, secure enemy vision control. Let's take another look at how it all went down all the way back to the Baron steal.
Yeah, this is all the way back to the Baron. I really want to kind of watch what Ayla is doing, because he didn't seem to be able to keep Karaoke out. I guess just didn't expect him to straight up flash in like that. But with the Otacon revive, to me, your job as Ayla and Sniper is just run a Karaoke and don't let him do that. Don't let it be a 50-50. You can always blame the jungler in that spot, but I do not think that is a jungler error. I think 100 Thieves had the tools to not allow him to get that 5v5. They bail themselves out with the kills in the fight, but here's this next play. Weiser is dead. Look where Jinkato is. You don't know where anyone is on 100 Thieves. They go into what is a 3v5 essentially here, and yes, River had not yet arrived, but River is arriving, and then look at the stasis from FBI, perfectly timed as Jinkato finally arrives. River wraps around behind them. They get all of the kills here. It's an ace, you know, at the end of the day, because Weiser still hadn't respawned, and you can see the reaction. They know how bad that was for the state of the game.
And now Jinkato underneath his sun disk, trying to find a spot to recall, but it ain't gonna work. There's the wombo combo. River sets it up, and by the time Jinkato's body hits the ground, FBI has already burst him 100-0.
Yeah, it's well played there by River and FBI, and I think smart from Jinkato, probably just not even use the Zonias, keep the cooldown ready, because I think you're dead to rights regardless in that situation. It is going to be a Dragon in a minute 20. That's the next real objective on the table here, and then the Baron after that. Because paiN were able to steal away that Dragon after the Baron steal, that means this is not a soul. This is a potential soul point for 100 Thieves, which really does change things. That Baron kept paiN in the game. Otherwise, I think this one would be over already. We'll see if they're going to be able to set up properly and fight this, because it is still pretty scary. But if you can stabilize, if you get the inhibitor back, if you're able to have a good team fight, paiN is really still in a pretty strong spot because of the nature of their composition. 2 completed Zonias. We don't have the completed Zonia yet for Chitan. He is missing that, but their carries are strong, and they have so much protection.
Yeah, if we get the full Zonias completed on Chitan instead of like a 5th normal item on Ezreal, like it's like, okay, here you go, Vi. Here's Ambessa.
Yeah, or you just ult to force the Zonias and hope that that's going to be, you know, enough to just kind of buy some time in the fight, right? But it becomes very, very difficult, because then you have to really, like, normally with this kind of comp, it's like a shotgun comp for 100 Thieves, right? Yeah. You choose your target, you dump your load, everyone goes in on this one guy, you throw all the ultimates out, you burst him down, and then you win the fight after because of your numerical advantage. But you can't do that. You can't spend all the cooldowns on one person when they all have Zonias.
I like the itemization here, but I have to see the execution that goes along with it for paiN. I have to see them be able to triumph over 100 Thieves in one of these overextensions. And I feel like overextending is the story of this second game here for both teams. We've seen overconfidence get punished time and time again from both squads. Nobody's going to challenge this on paiN's side, though, as 100 Thieves will easily secure that next Drake for themselves. Finally on Soul Point, like you were talking about. The past 2 had been denied, but finally 100 Thieves will get that one. So paiN now knows the pressure is on for the future of those. But man, we're already 35 minutes into the game. Like, we are in the late game now.
We really are, right? We have some of these upgraded boots, you know, being bought over by 100 Thieves as well. And we'll see, you know, how effective they're going to be. Ayla here has picked up a lot of kills, so he has a full Sundered Sky, plus the Blood Song, plus the Heart Seal. So his damage is actually not irrelevant, right? Like, if he gets in on a carry, you can't ignore him. It is pretty scary. They did, if they were really watching, see River go over the wall with that ward, and yep, they are suspicious. They throw out the Ezreal. They're on the Baron. Is 100 Thieves just going to rush it? It looks like they want to just go for it.
They're going for it. Quid using the Weaver's Wall blocks off that fastest route there for anybody from paiN. So this time, no chance for the 50-50. That is the Drake 400 Thieves. That is the Baron 400 Thieves. Now, what can they do with it as that inhibitor in bottom lane respawns in just 30 seconds?
Yeah, we'll have to see exactly what they can get done. They definitely want to play at least 2 lanes. We'll see if they want to try to really spread it out and play 3, utilize those semi-globals that they do have. Frozen Heart now done here for Sniper, and is going to be working towards his 6th and fight item. He's about half an item away from that, so very far ahead of what Weiser is now. 2.5k gold lead for him, 1.8k for River. That is where the majority of the gold is, but FBI is full build here too, has a death cap now completed, so a ton of AP in the kit, and this is where his poke is really going to come online and can start to mitigate some of the disadvantages that they have as far as range.
Okay, looks like we've got FBI and Ayla set up to push down the top lane. River and Quid hanging out in mid with Sniper in bottom. So a full 3-lane push from 100 Thieves. Most of the response from paiN is up in the top lane, so immediately the bot lane duo from 100 is just going to back up, continue hitting some of that poke. There's an example of it you can see as the Void Seekers fly towards Jinkato. Quid and Ayla now just going to take the opportunity, steal away every possible resource from the enemy jungle and just choke them out.
And it's just so important to actually dodge those Kaisa Ws because of the cooldown reduction that comes through with them. You know, if you hit one, it really starts to snowball because you get that really low cooldown. If you hit 2 in a row, you proc the passive as well. And with all that AP, that's where it becomes so dangerous. Wiser, though.
Oh, immediately could be some trouble for Wiser as Sniper and River are ready to jump in after him. There's the buy ulti of the Invested like we were talking about, but Quinn's in a lot of trouble. Jinkato was jumped in. The 100 Thieves mid laner was already down. Jinkato buying a little bit of extra time at the stasis of his own as Ayla's ready to follow up and goes on a rampage, finally killing him. Karaoke with the escape back towards the Nexus turrets. 100 Thieves have lost their mid, but so have paiN. Another True Shot Barrage flies in, but it only connects onto Ayla as the bottom lane inhibitor is again destroyed and the top lane tier 3 is reduced to rubble by FBI.
Yeah, FBI, you know, has been scrapping with Chitan as well. He forced out the barrier there from Chitan in the 1v1. He's lower on health, though, so has to be careful. 100 Thieves hanging around a long time here. Now the mid lane arrives, and they're going to try to threaten full court press. FBI is looking for the 1v1.
FBI goes back in with the killer instinct, a massive shield for him. Chitan tries to go forward, tries to catch him by surprise there with a flash, but he dies one auto short. 100 Thieves going for the killing blow as the top lane inhibitor is their next target, and they grab the kill on Wiser to go right with it. Curry and Karaoke, the supports of paiN, can do nothing but look on as the Nexus turrets are destroyed. It was a battle. It was a war here in the second game, but 100 Thieves will emerge triumphant as they try to get their last couple of kills right before they drop the Nexus. 100 Thieves, 2-0 paiN Gaming.
100 Thieves take the win here, the first win in the Americas stage.